Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to another episode of Soul Wise with me, Semele Sherry. And this episode is guidance for the new lunar month, which begins with the Cancer new moon on July the 5th at 11:57 p.m. And that's the timing for the UK, which is where I live. So every new lunar month, I draw one card from the Thoth Tarot deck to explore the key energy to navigate by during the coming 4 weeks. And then I take a quick look at the astrology, which, as you'll discover, will often very definitely back up the intuitive guidance. So the card I've drawn for this lunar month is the Four of Swords, and I'm calling this reading Be Flexible for Long-Term Solutions. As a card of the sword suit, the key to this month is engaging your thoughts and words to the best effect. With the subheading of truce for this card, you're advised to tap into all your powers of calm, centered thinking and communication to understand, negotiate and resolve challenges and conflicts. That sounds like very welcome energy, doesn't it? If you find yourself in a situation of ongoing disagreement or difficulty, perhaps you've been ill or are just simply exhausted by the challenges of life, then here's how you can engage with this energy. Take a break and give yourself a rest from the problem, whatever it is, some time to recover and heal a little. Maybe take a holiday or go on a meditation retreat. Go somewhere quiet and restorative, preferably without those external influences that can throw your mind into turmoil. I'm speaking about things like the news, the mainstream news that is, social media, constant phone calls, and so on. That way you can cleanse, refresh, and clear your mindset for when you return. Often I find when I leave something alone for a while and take myself out of the situation, I can get a much clearer view of exactly what the problem is and where the answer lies. The important thing here is that you do return to it, because obviously the issue is still very much present and unresolved, even when you're not focusing on it. So there's a reminder here not to avoid addressing the problem for too long a time, as it will inevitably erupt again. I know many of us as sensitives live for peace and harmony and don't enjoy being in that disagreement energy. But there is never any hope of a true and lasting resolution unless we're prepared to think and talk things through, listen to the other side, be flexible and open to an as yet unknown solution. And I've put a link here to some really great videos introducing the subject of non-violent communication, which embraces all of these approaches, and I'll put a link in the description below. The only caveat is that you don't compromise your own integrity and values just for the sake of ease and a quiet life. It's better in the long run to grapple now with the difficulties and pain points, as unpleasant as that might be, and work through them. From the other side, if someone comes to you with an apology or the offer of an olive branch, don't dismiss it immediately if that's your initial knee-jerk reaction. Remain open to possibility and give it some careful thought. What are you prepared to forgive? How genuine are this person's words? The 4 levels of thinking represented here are wonderful to focus on for any stressful situation in your life. And these 4 levels of thinking are: be present, pay attention, tell the truth, don't be attached to the outcome. I know, speaking personally, the last one there can be rather tricky to do. This makes me think of the current global situations in which some calm dialogue and deep listening might lead, at least temporarily, to a cessation of war and open up the space for a conversation about peace. This new moon occurs the day after a general election in the UK where I live, so I'll be fascinated by the results of that and what may follow as a result. It does feel to me like there's a potential for radical political change here, possibly preceded by some conflict and revolution. I'm an eternal optimist, as you probably know, so I'm actively hopeful about what this month may bring in these areas, although it doesn't feel that anything will be settled for a while. But it's a start. As I've said many times over the years, your thoughts create the reality of your experience. So there's also a reminder here that there is a link between your physical well-being and your thinking. If you're continually fearful or always criticizing and judging yourself, then it's going to have a negative impact on your body. So it may well be you find yourself under the weather and needing to take time off work or your usual duties this month. Know that this is absolutely necessary to restore the balance. Be kind to yourself and compassionate with your frailties. Try thinking about your strengths and achievements rather than focusing on your weaknesses and failures, which is all too easy to do. Ask yourself if you're exposing yourself to too much negativity through what you watch, read, and talk about. Can you introduce more films, programs, books, and conversations that engender in you thoughts and feelings of peace, love, connection, and joy? So during the next 4 weeks of this lunar month, there's an opportunity for you and the world to enjoy some respite, a short period of peace and restoration after challenges in which to rebalance and refresh. Embrace it while you can. Then you'll be prepared to re-engage wholeheartedly and mindfully with whatever it is that needs resolution in your life. Knowing that when you do re-engage, you have every chance of arriving at a stable, solid solution that will last. You might like to read this lunar month's spiritual guidance against the overarching background of my intuitive reading for 2024, the whole year, and I'll also place a link for that below. So moving on to the astrology for this lunar month. The Cancer new moon, with its theme of soulful nurturing and caring for the vulnerable, illustrates where dramatic political change is needed. Any existing plans and agreements will need revisiting by leaders if they're to offer a more appropriate long-term solution for the problems the world faces. The Capricorn full moon on the 21st of July makes it clear where structures need to adapt for those open to see it. With the new moon conjunct Pluto, flexibility is necessary and encouraged as everything shifts, but it will be a while before any kind of certainty is reached. So there you go. That's the guidance for this lunar month. I'm sending you much love and many blessings for the 4 weeks ahead, walking that path with you as I always do, and take good care of yourself. Until next time, goodbye.